Good time of the day to you, YouTube friends, depending on when and where you're tuning in to check out this video. I hope that it finds you well. Can you afford to live in St. George? Stick around until the very end of this video and you will find out exactly how much it costs to live comfortably in southern Utah. I'll break down the costs of housing, healthcare, transportation, utilities, and taxes and compare them to national averages so that you can decide if southern Utah is for you. My name is Nick Rostopchin. I'm a realtor here in St. George. I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate all over southern Utah. I specialize in working with clients that are relocating to St. George from all corners of our beautiful country. The purpose of this YouTube channel is to provide people with free, reliable information about all there is to know about southern Utah. Cost of living, best neighborhoods, places to see, things to do, regular real estate market updates, and so much more. So if you're new around here and you're thinking about moving to southern Utah, or you would just like to learn more, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it so you don't miss any of our new videos. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it and see how much money you need in order to be able to afford to live comfortably right here in southern Utah. Statistical information in this video was provided by bestplaces.net. Cost of living indexes are based on the US average of 100. An amount below 100 means St. George is cheaper than the US average, and a cost of living index above 100 means that St. George is more expensive. Overall, St. George cost of living index is at 103.6, making it slightly higher than the US average, with the biggest factor making it more expensive being real estate. Average median home price in St. George is at $330,000 versus national average at just $231,000. Average rent in St. George is around $1,600 for a 4-bedroom apartment. Cost of groceries is at 93.7, which is slightly below national average. St. George has plenty of great options to purchase produce, including stores like Costco if you have a large family or just prefer to buy things in bulk. There are also several chain grocery stores like Lynn's and Smith's, as well as several Whole Foods and organic produce options like Natural Grocers and Harmon's, as well as several small seasonal farmers markets so that you could buy seasonal fresh produce. If you prefer to dine out, there are several great options in St. George that will typically set you back about $20 per plate, with a few higher end restaurants and steakhouses that are more in line with the $45 per plate price range. So depending on what you choose, a typical dinner out for two could range anywhere from $40 to $90. Let's talk about utilities. St. George has a cost index of utilities of 95, which is slightly below the national average. There are 6 options for a power company depending on where your property is located in Washington County. Inside secret, if you want to lower your power bill, or if you want ultimately the lowest power bill option, you should stick with Dixie Power. Dixie Power is a coal-powered power plant, and current utility costs for Dixie Power rank in the top 3 of the lowest utility costs in the nation. A typical Dixie Power bill is at around $145 for 2,000 kilowatts of consumption. Rocky Mountain and Washington City power companies are among the most expensive for this area and would set you back nearly $100 more for the same consumption of 2,000 kilowatts. Virgin River divides territories between Dixie Power and the other power companies that are available in this area. So if you're looking to have the lowest power bill, I would recommend staying on the Dixie Power side of Virgin River. You can see the visual provided on a Dixie Power website. Other utilities include sewer, water, and trash, and typically average out to be $60 to $75 a month regardless of where you live in Washington County. Natural gas is provided by Dominion Energy and typically averages out to be about $15 during the warmer months of the year and about $45 to $50 during the cooler months of the year. Let's talk about transportation. St. George has a transportation cost index of 75, which is considerably below national average. While public transportation is very limited in southern Utah, Utah fuel costs are in the bottom 3 for the southwestern part of the United States. Most places around St. George are just a 10-minute drive and just a few miles away, and traffic is usually not a factor. And if you find yourself amongst pedal pushers, St. George has countless bike trails, and bike commute may be suitable during a large portion of the year. St. George has a cost index of 108 for healthcare. The average cost of healthcare is calculated using the standard daily rate for a hospital room and the cost of a doctor visit, as well as a dental checkup. There are 152 physicians per 100,000 of population in St. George. The US average is 210 per 100,000 people. Commuting can affect your health. The average person in St. George commutes about 15 minutes one way, which is shorter than the US average by 26.4 minutes. St. George air quality is at 68 compared to the US average of 58. St. George water quality is at 73, and St. George Superfund index is at 96. Let's talk about taxes. This is a question that I get asked pretty often, as majority of people are moving from all over the country, and the tax laws typically vary greatly state by state. St. George has individual income tax at 4.95%. The state rate is at 4.7%. Local rates, which are collected at the county and the city level, range from 1.25% to 4%. That means that actual rates paid in Utah range anywhere from 5.95% to 8.7% for individual state income tax. With local taxes, the total state tax rate is between 6.1% to 9.5% for the sales tax. Let's talk about property taxes. The median primary residence property tax in Washington County, Utah is $1,231 per year for a home worth the median value of $240,000. Washington County collects on average 0.5% of what a property assessed fair market value is as a property tax. The state of Utah is 11th lowest in assessment rate on property taxes out of all 50 states in the union. So one thing that's unique to Washington County is there are 2 different tax brackets for property taxes. If it's your property, if the property is your primary residence, you typically get a 45% break. If that property is a secondary residence, then you pay the full assessed value. While southern Utah may not be the most affordable place to live in the United States, a lot of our clients are making the decision and moving from the cities that are in the top 20 of the most expensive cities in the United States. Clean communities, amazing outdoors, and mild weather are some of the factors that are helping our clients make their decision to move here. If you're considering moving to southern Utah and still have some questions that didn't get answered within the format of this video, please feel free to contact me directly. You can call me, text me, send me a message on Facebook, send me an email, or even send out a pigeon with your request. I would absolutely love to answer all and any of your questions. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to add, or if you have any feedback regarding information provided in this video, please drop it in the comment below this video. Let's get a conversation started. I would love to hear what my viewers think about the content that I'm providing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.